Hello, my dears INFJ entrepreneurs. Welcome back to another video, or if you're listening to this on the INFJ Entrepreneur Podcast, welcome back to the podcast. Today, what I want to talk to you about is how to handle people without being too empathetic, okay? And this is something that a lot of you guys, when you guys join to the INFJ community, if you are not a part of the community, by the way, I'm going to put the link in the description. If you are a business owner or if you want to grow your own business one day, you should definitely join us. We meet every month. So one of the members of this group was putting as one of their biggest challenges, like, how can I be more assertive? How can I be more assertive with people in my business so that they, quote unquote, take me seriously, or maybe I'm just too nice to them. Maybe I just have too much empathy. And I don't have the full scope of this challenge, so I don't know what exactly this person means by being like a lack of being too empathetic. But what I assume it is usually when people are, and the INFJ are very much guilty of that, but just wanting to help people. And when we want to help people, we sometimes overextend ourselves. And also we have a bit of shame around actually charging money and asking money for our help. Now, I can tell you this from experience. The minute that I announced that I want to be a business owner, fucking hell. So I'm talking from experience. The minute I announced that I'm starting my own business, I had one American lady in the networking community that was kind of like, hey, I actually have this idea. And her idea was reusable stickers in the organizational space. Like, basically you have those jars and the stickers you can reuse and erase. So you are saving, you're saving the earth and the nature, and you're saving the planet. Basically, that was her whole idea. And obviously I knew marketing even then. And, I just announced that I'm taking on clients. And I met this person through a networking event. And she got immediately very excited and she wanted to sit down with me to brainstorm with her. And I remember even that I felt a little bit like uneasy, because I was like, okay, I'm happy to like hear her out, like about her product idea, and like see how I can come and add value as a business, and actually like thinking like how much I would charge for all of that. And I remember sitting at a coffee shop with her, and at some point she was pitching me all her ideas, and she was like, so how do we move forward from here? That was exactly the question that she asked me. And at that moment, I was kind of like giving her like a whole marketing plan. And I failed to actually say that, oh yeah, and that, by the way, that would be around this much. Is that okay with you? So I kind of went home. So I kind of went home very defeated from that conversation. And I was actually, that conversation led me to getting even more anxious, because that person then initiated to meet up for another co-working session that I also went to. And I was finding myself helping this person once more and not getting any payment, nor, that she kind of insinuated that she cannot pay me. But some business owners, when they are just starting out, they have this, if I win, you win type of mentality, like, oh, I cannot pay you now, but you know what, once I'll make some money, I'll pay you. Okay. And that's something that I want you guys to be very like careful about, because these people are usually, they don't respect you and your work, and also they don't respect the help that you're providing, because people tend to respect and actually implement if they pay for something. Okay. So we're going to talk about that like in a separate video. But what I was finding myself is like, I constantly was meeting with this person. I was spending time with this person. My anxiety in the back of my head was rising. And I just couldn't know, like I felt like she was expecting me to help her free, because I was like, And she was making like even hints that, oh my God, this would be such a good experience for you. And like as if I could use it for my case study. Like, even though that was not something that I was asking for, I would have wanted to get paid for what I was helping her do, right? So I remember like there was some point where my anxiety was growing and growing, and I actually almost drew myself into a full-blown panic attack. Like, I remember taking the tram home and trying to anchor myself by chatting with one of my friends. I was like, "Stay with me. I'm gonna lose my shit." Like, I never felt so panicky in my life, and that when I went home from that, like that was a accumulation of me feeling to assert myself and put my boundaries and like dictate of like, hey, these are the terms of working with me, because I was so like, I want to help. So that drove me into like a word of a panic attack. And I went home that day and I had to like really anchor myself. I was listening to nature meditations, but that point on, I actually stopped seeing that person and I stopped attending to events that she did. And I was majorly pushing back on any other, how do we move forward from this, like type of like meetups, like let's brainstorm type of scenarios, because I felt like I was used, but I also let myself to be used because I didn't teach my clients how I want them to treat me. And this is very important, okay? Because if you have a bit of a tendency to distort reality in a way that, oh, people are using me, like I have to overextend myself, no one can use you without your permission. Like, no one can manipulate you without your permission. You can only assume that I have to teach people how to be in business with me. And if I allow them something for free, or if I given them too much, free information, I can always pull back and put and insert my own boundaries and basically tell them about my limits and like what can I give for free, like where my actual strict boundaries and rules are. From now on, it's going to be this much per session. Like, so that's on me to educate them. And I cannot be upset if they don't assume that those are the rules to work with me or work with you. Instead, it's your job to educate people, okay? And I'm going to talk to you about pricing in another video, because I think like charging and pricing deserves its own topic. But basically, you can and you have to set those rules and boundaries of working together. And you can't expect your clients to dictate, because even though you want to be nice, like at the end of the day, you also are a business and you need to make money so that your business is surviving. Okay. So again, it deserves its own topic, but my take on being too nice is that it's actually not serving you big time. Okay. So if you're too nice and you find yourself like pitying your clients or whoever wants to work with you because you're like, oh, I really want to help this person, but I don't know, like if I should charge money, like those scenarios, a good client would not expect to be taking your time for free. Okay. And I think that's very much in the lines of, there are people who genuinely think like picking your brain or like those type of scenarios are acceptable, but it's up to you to educate them on what would be the way of working together and how much are you willing to give. And, with your empathetic giving and the way that you are operating at the very beginning, it's really up to you to determine that this is the point. From that on, it's going to be a paid consultation or a done for you service or whatever you're selling. It's up to you to make that very clear for your clients. So some reflective questions about this topic is, what is the process of working together with me? Like, think about how it looks like. At which point do you want to do like a free call at the beginning? Do you want people to have access to you for free for like a strategy session, or what's your process of working together? Like, what is your process? And can you define a process? And which is the point where you're like, okay, I'm happy to sit down for 15 minutes and just look over what they want, and then decide from that point on that, okay, from that point on, it's going to be a paid gig, and you're not going to overextend yourself for free. Also, what type of clients do I want to work with? This is very important, especially because when I was starting out, and I am a service provider, guys, like I'm a marketing consultant. I also do done for you marketing in the online space. So whoever are selling in the online space, I usually can help them grow their businesses online. So what are the type of clients that I'm personally working with? They are already making sales. They're already established entrepreneurs so that they can afford my pricing. And, when I was starting out, I was actually working with everyone who came to me. And that became very clear to me that what type of clientele I don't want to work with. So define it for yourself, like what type of clientele you want to work with, like who do you want to serve, and what type of, situation they are in. Because that would like hugely determine either you're being too empathetic or you're potentially overgiving in some scenarios. I did have people come to me with like a commission-based type of deal, like, oh, if I make money, then I'm going to give you a cut. Like, I never accepted personally those type of deals simply because there's too much that depends on them being successful at selling for me to get paid, So if the work is done, it's really up to them to maximize, and I can help them maximize sales and land more clients as much as I can, like physically I can. But at the end of the day, they are the one who are in facing the clients, or they are the one in the calls. So if they cannot turn the opportunities into actual paid clients, it's not up to me, it's up to them. So I know for sure that those type of scenarios I would never accept. I just want you to think about like, what are your limits? Okay. So what type of clientele you want to work with, how you want to define the process of working together, and what is the limit of you giving for free versus you starting to charge money for. Okay. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you're not already a member of the INFJ entrepreneurs community, you can join us. I'm going to put the link for Facebook in the description of this video. We meet every month for our virtual hangout. So if you want to meet fellow entrepreneurs who are also INFJs, and frankly, they're pretty cool, and frankly, they are amazing, then, make sure that you join our community. Thank you so much for being here and listening to this episode. Don't forget, drive over fear, progress over perfection. I'll see you guys very soon.